Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, and welcome. We're going to look at tips on modeling the Spitfire, and I'm going to show you some things and talk about it and do some modeling of it also. But first, this video is sponsored by PCBWay. PCBWay is your one-stop shop for rapid prototyping, from 3D printing, CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, injection molding, electronic PC board design and manufacturing. PCBWay has globally competitive prices, and to get an instant quote for your project, sign up for an account and drag and drop your file. You will get an instant quote, and 2 to 3 days you will get a firm quote. For your 3D printing needs or other rapid prototyping needs, check out PCBWay.com. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Now, when I look at this here, I look at these formers, the shapes of these formers, from A to B. I notice this little sort of bump part of this here, back. And then when I look at B, it's not in there. So when I look at this from the top views, I see this here. So in my mind, what I would do, I would add these later. So from former A to B, I would just go ahead and make this round through here and then loft these two together. So let's go ahead and just do that and see what that looks like. Creating a sketch on this plane here. Going to draw a line, center line, or sketch a center line. Use a fit point spline here. Now, once again, you'll see me using a lot of points here. Now, you shouldn't use a lot of points. I'm only using a lot of points just for speed. But the less points you have, the smoother the curves will be. And you just adjust them with the handles here. Now, this could be done just with 2 points from up here, and then adjust the handles. But we'll just go ahead and do it like this, I said, for speed. And you want to make sure this is perpendicular too. Okay, go ahead and finish sketch. Then select Move Copy here. And delete this. It's selected something already, so just delete that. And then we want to move this point here. Then look at this from the top. Rotate this 90 degrees and click OK. Next, going to do the same thing for B here. Create a sketch on this plane here. Draw a center line or sketch a center line. Use a fit point spline. And do a little adjusting. And finish sketch here, and move copy again. And I want to move this point here. And move this up. Now, as we can see right here, we're going to have a problem. And select OK. But this problem that we have, I've already worked it out in my head right here, just looking at this. See this right here, when you loft this to this is going to try to loft this point to this point down here. So this is going to actually sweep down here, and it's not going to give you this here. So what we need to do is look at former B again. And as I look at this looks to be about right through here somewhere. So now what I'm going to do is create another sketch on this plane here. And use a center line here again. And I'm going to stop this around here. Now you can get a lot more accurate with a bunch of measurements and stuff like that. And if you want to get really accurate, I would advise you to use measurements. But here we're just demonstrating how to go about doing this. And look at former A again. Okay, it's round on the bottom. Cancel that and do that again. Okay, finish sketch. Come over here to my sketches. And we change this to former B. With intake. And turn this off. And I'm going to move this. And now as you can see, this will not let me select any of this because of this over here being on bodies. So we go back up here and change this to sketch objects. That's the point we want. And I'm going to move this up. And click OK. I'm going to move this down just a little bit. And this up just a little bit. Like I said, you should measure this to get this correct. and click OK. Look at this in the front. It's a little rounded on the top here. Okay. And round on the side too. Okay, and that looks pretty good now. I'll come over here to the surface, and we're going to loft from here. Now, make sure all these are zeroed out before you start. I didn't do that, but I should have. Okay. And that's our first section there. But as we can see, it's not matching this here, top and bottom. So we'll go ahead and cancel this. Create a sketch on this plane here. And use a fit point spline. There. There. And the same thing for the bottom. Now we shouldn't have to put one here. Go ahead and finish sketch here. Go back to loft. And we're going to add rails, so click this plus. This. And this. I'll click OK. Okay. And that's the first section of the Spitfire. And that looks good. Now, we don't have this section up here. And just looking at this, it's going to be round. So what we can do, turn the bodies off, turn the sketches back on, so I can see this. That was our first skeleton to get the shape. Now what I'm going to do here, turn the canvases back on. I'm going to do a plane, an offset plane. And use this. Click OK. Now I can't see that plane being down there, so what I'm going to do, move that up so I can have a better view of it. And I'm going to move the plane forward just a little bit. So I'm going to come back here, edit. And move it forward just a tad. That's too much, but okay. And there's where we want it, and click OK. All right. Create a sketch on this plane here. And I'm going to project. I'm just trying something here now. And use an offset. This. Let's see what this looks like. Finish sketch. Okay, we cancel this. Not sure it's going to let me move this, and it's not going to. So cancel this. And delete this sketch here. Well, actually, I can use this as a reference. So what I'm going to do now, create a sketch on this plane here. And now I'm just using it for a reference. Okay, finish sketch. Okay. Let me cancel this too. And what I'm going to have to do create a sketch on this plane again. There's a line from here to here. And I'm just using these lines as references. Okay. Now, fit point spline. And finish sketch. And move copy. And move this up. And click OK. Look at this again. I think I moved the wrong one. Can delete these, don't need them anymore. All right. Now, this is the whole process that I would go through this, modeling this. All right. Like I said before, I would show you guys how to do this. Say if I were modeling this whole thing and showing you guys how to do that, this is, like I said, this would be the process I would go through. And once I have this all worked out, then I would show you guys how to do this. But now I'm just showing you guys my process of the way I think about things when I do this. Okay, so we have that now, and turn on A and B again. So now what I'm going to have to do again for the rails is put these all the way through here. Okay, so these rails here, turn these off. And now create a sketch on this plane. Okay, we cancel this. Now I'm looking at these 2 points here. We don't want this going up here, so this needs to come down just a little bit. Because we want a nice smooth transition through here. Bring it down just a teensy weensy bit more. Okay, now create a sketch on this plane here. Undo this, it went to the wrong plane. Then use a fit point spline again. Now, when I did that, it wouldn't let me snap onto this point here because I would have to project the point. But since I'm in 3D Sketch here, I just rotated it a little so I would be able to sketch in 3D to get to snap there. And one on the bottom. Okay, and that looks good. And go ahead and finish sketch. And come up here, surface, and loft. And click that to get rid of that. And the rails here, I click that. Use that one. And that one. Now, this here, we're going to need a rail here also. So I'll come back here, delete this, and edit this sketch, that last sketch we just did. Okay, it didn't snap on that. Take that and delete that, and do that again. Let's see what this looks like. Finish sketch. Loft. Zero this out. And we're going to add rails. Click OK, turn the sketches off. And that looks better. Okay. Now we have that of the Spitfire. Now, this is what I would go through to learn how to do this, to model this. And then I would teach you guys how to do this. But this is my process I would go through. So some models you see me modeling for you guys, I've already modeled, and some I have not. Some I can just look at and know I can just go right off the bat and do it. So we can even go farther here. Now, this here from B to C. Let's take a look at the former C. Now this here is part of the wing. So what I would do here is just model this all the way down. So drawing this all the way down and then putting that in here. So let's go ahead and do that. C. So I'm going to create a sketch on this plane here. I'm going to draw a line or sketch a line, center line. And use this fit point spline. And bring this down. Okay. There we have C. And finish sketch. Turn sketches back on. And I'm going to move this up. So move copy. Click this to get rid of that. Then move this up to C. And rotate this. Click OK. Turn off the bodies. Turn off these sketches. Okay. Now let's loft this to this. Okay. Reverse normal, select this, and click OK. There's that, but that's not right. So delete that, and delete this. Now I want to use the sketch that came all the way down here. So I turn this one off. Okay. But as I look at this, this is going to come up through here and leave the... So as I look at this, another profile should be done here. So to do that, I'm going to do an offset plane. Create a sketch on this plane. Okay. Now, fit point spline. Now, let's see here. Now let's go ahead and loft this and see what we have here. Okay, so we're going to need some rails here. So go ahead and cancel this. Create a sketch on this plane here. All right. Finish sketch. And adjust this a little bit. Oh, I didn't put one on the top, so I'll go back here. Left click, then right click this, and click Edit Sketch. Then fit point spline again, and put at the top. Okay. Loft these again. Then we're going to add the rails. And click OK. Now, what I should do is put a rail in here to pull this out a little. So as I look at this, should put a rail here and a rail here. But that's for you guys to do. And then match the shape up more. And I showed you guys how to get this here, this shape, because we couldn't loft from here to here. Okay, turn the bodies off. Okay. This loft here, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Don't need it. Turn the canvases off. Come back here and edit this sketch here. And fit point spline here. All right, finish sketch. Loft. Zero that out. And add rails. And as you can see, that looks much better now by adding the rails. And we need to pull this out just a little bit. But the video's getting a little long here. And let's go ahead and do the spinner up here. A spinner, to do that, create a sketch on this plane here. Turn these bodies off first. Okay. We're sort of determined between halfway and here, the halfway point. You could just draw a line and measure, but I'm just going to wing it here for you guys, just for the sake of time. Finish sketch. Turn the sketches back on. Surface, revolve. This is the profile. This is the axis. And that's how you do the spinner. Now what you want to do is make sure that your line here is matched up with the front of here. But that's the Spitfire so far. And pretty much, as I look at this, the hard part now is the hardest part is done. And the hardest part, which is getting this here lofted and stuff on the way back here. Now, what you could actually do too to have a really smooth transition here is do this whole piece later down here, like we did. Just loft this. I think I did that already. Okay. So lofting from here to the next piece, and then coming back here and putting in this scoop later. You could do that way also. But this looks pretty good too. Like I said, to finish this, then just go ahead and use the rest of these. But for the canopy here, I'd have to think about that, but it's not complicated to do. I just have to think of what's the best way to do that. So the next video that I'll come back with this Spitfire, we'll look at the canopy here, how to go about doing that. And let's see, yeah, the canopy here. and we'll just finish up the this intake here, which is not hard to do at all, and go ahead and do this intake here too. Yeah, so that's going to do it for this video, and I hope you guys like it. And this is just part one of this Spitfire. Like I said, I'm really not showing you guys, step by step how to model this, because with this, I am actually showing you here how I would go ahead about modeling this. And then once I finish this, then I could come back and show you guys how to do it. But I'm just showing you my steps that I go through to actually model an airplane for you guys. Especially this here, which is surface modeling. So yeah, but anyway, what I want to do is start modeling more airplanes and answering more questions for you guys. And I really would like to make this a full-time job. Right now, I just do it in my spare time, showing you guys how to do this type of stuff. But like I said, I want to make this a full-time job to show you guys more. And if you can support the channel, even just by subscribing, helps my channel. And if you can use donate through super chats, or you can join my Patreon group over there. And I can help you more on my Patreon site also. So yeah, but anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And also, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. And again, I invite you to join my Patreon site and my Facebook group. Go over there and have a look. Good people over there, and we'll help you out with all your modeling stuff like that too. So yeah, but anyway, that's going to do it for this video, and we will catch you in the next one.
Subscribe for more.